Haikyuu Omegaverse Series by unnamed writer. Chapter 1. Yamtsuki, third person point of view. Kirishino got off the bus as it arrived at the summer training camp in Tokyo. The last two of the bus were Tsukishima and Yamaguchi. The team walked into the room that they would be sharing as their bedroom for the next 2 months. Yamaguchi set up his mat in a corner of the room, knowing that Tsukishima wouldn't want to be near people. Yamaguchi was unpacking the stuff from his bag when Tsukishima started to roll out his mat right next to Yamaguchi. "Hi, Tsuki," Yama said with a smile. Was Tsukishima's only response. Yamaguchi went back to setting up. He put a blanket on Tsukishima's mat, causing Tsukishima to look at him. "What's this?" "Well, I know that you aren't going to want to cuddle with me while we are in the same room as everyone else, and I didn't want you to get sad or anything like that, so I sent it that blanket. It should have my scent on it for at least a few days," Yamaguchi said, crisscrossed on his mat, looking at Tsukishima. He looked around, checking that nobody would see what he was about to do. Tsukishima leaned in, quickly giving Yama a quick hug. "Thank you," he said, turning his head to the side so Yama couldn't see the blush that was forming on his cheeks. Yamaguchi point of view. "Hey, Tsuki," I say as he turns his head to face me. He had signaling me to continue. "Come here." I pat next to me, and he moves to sit next to me. I put my hand on his shoulder and close my eyes. "Yamaguchi," he says, looking at me. "Gomen, Tsuki." I lift my head and sit up straight. "It's fine, but was there something you wanted to tell me?" He puts one of his fingers on top of mine. He isn't one for PDA, and the team doesn't know that we're together, so we don't normally show any sort of affiliation. I don't know this word, but okay. Towards each other when they are around. That is why even this small gesture was big for Tsuki. "It's nothing," I smile up at him. I pull my hand away and finish unpacking all my stuff. I go over to his bag and finish unpacking for him as he sits on my mat and watches. "Yams, why are you unpacking my stuff?" It's the least I could do, Tsuki." I sit back down next to him and whisper in his ear, "I love you." He turns his head to the side, not looking at me. Tsuki is really easy to read if you know what to look for. Like, right now I can tell he's blushing because the tips of his ears are red. When he gets nervous or flustered, he plays with his fingers. I get up and put my hand out, signaling for Tsuki to grab. "Come on, let's go explore." He grabs my hands and stands up. We'll tell Daichi and Suga that we are going to explore and then leave the room. We walked down a few hallways until we came to the janitor's closet. I stop walking and go to see if the door is open. I turn the handle and lucky enough it was open. I walk in and Tsuki follows. I sit on top of the washing machine and Tsukishima shuts the door. "Come here, Tsuki." He walks over and I put my hand into the crook of his neck. He smells so good, like sugar. The thing is that Tsuki smelled way better when he didn't have his scent blockers on. Without them, he smells like strawberries and lemon. It is a weird combo, but to me, it is the best thing ever. "It smells so good, baby, just like sugar." I push my head further into his neck and he turns his head slightly, so I can be closer to his scent glands. As if he mumbles. I pull my head away and put my hand on his face. He pushes his face further into my hands. "Tsuki, stop it now," I say slightly using my alpha voice. You know it's true, Yamaguchi. I don't even know why you are still with me. He pulls my hand away from his face. Kei Tsukishima. I use my alpha voice a lot more and start releasing some of my pheromones. I'm sorry, he mumbles. I'm sorry I can't be a good Omega. He puts his hand down, burying his neck to me. I stand up and walk over to him. I wrap my arms around his waist and put his hand to my neck. I release calming pheromones as he starts crying into my shoulder. Yama, I'm sorry, he says to me, still crying. Shh, baby, I love you, no matter what your secondary gender is. You can be a beta or an omega. I will always love you. I rub my fingers up and down his back. I'm sorry, Yama. He pulls away from me, taking a few steps back. You have nothing to be sorry for. I just want you to be happy, Kei. I walk closer to him, wrapping my arms around his neck. I kiss him on the neck before putting my head into his chest and hugging him. Tsukishima intertwines a finger into my hair. Kei, is it okay if I release some of my calming pheromones? He hums and kisses the top of my head. I release the pheromones, not a lot though, because people would know that we are in here. After about 5 minutes, Suki is calm and we decide to head back to our team room. When we get there, the only people in there are Sugawara and Daichi. Suki and I sit down on our mats facing each other. He pushes his hands out towards my hand and I put my hand on top of it. Is something wrong, Tsuki? He shakes his head, no, and then looks down at his lap. I look over at Suga and Daichi and then at Tsukishima. Kei, I think we should tell him. No, not yet. Okay? He looks up at me, then at our hands. Okay, Tsuki, but soon, please. He mumbles a sure before pulling his hand away and grabbing his phone out of his bag. Time skip to after Sukamama and Daichi leave the room. Hey Tsuki, can we cuddle? I look over at Tsukishima, who's laying on his mat with his hands behind his head. He nods and I move over, resting my head on his chest. I close my eyes, listening to the music that is his heartbeat. Sorry for that. He wraps his arms around me, putting his hand in my hair. Then uses the other hand to put one of his AirPods into my ear. He's listening to some soft lo-fi music, something you wouldn't expect from Kei. My eyes start to feel heavy as I drift off to sleep. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I made so many mistakes. Suddenly I was just so confused sometimes, and then I need some time to think about it again and to restart it. But I hope you still enjoyed it. It's my first time uploading something like this. I tried many times to do such audios, but yeah. If you wanted part 2, please write it down in the comments. Things you want me to improve or to correct, let me know. And if the creators of the story or of the picture doesn't like me using it, then write me it and I'm going to take the video down, of course. Oh, I hope I don't get in trouble. Well, have a good day. See ya.